What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over Granger. This is not going to be an in-depth tutorial, but this will be a gameplay my own gameplay analyzation. So I'll still explain what emblem I'm using and why. I'm still going to explain what spell I'm using and equipment I'm using and why, so don't worry about that. It'll still be like an in-depth tutorial, but it'll be more concise and faster. All right. Let me know if you prefer this way rather than the 30-minute video that I usually do with the gameplay tips and tricks and try to go over the mechanics one by one. Let me know if you like this type of tutorial instead of the in-depth guide. Okay, so first things first, let's look at my Granger. Obviously right here we're gonna be using sprint. You might be asking, why sprint, why not purify? Alright, so this really depends on your enemy team composition. If the enemy team has like really hard stunts like Chug, Guinevere, obviously you're gonna take Purify. But since they don't have any hard stunts, they only have 2 knockups on Grok and Minotaur. I took Sprint instead, and I think that'll be better, and that'll benefit me a lot, since they also have a Leomar that'll chase me. They have a Claude that's really fast when he first skills his passive, so Sprint will definitely help me. Okay, more than Purify, to be honest, if anything. And I'm using Assassin Emblem with the Bounty Hunter talent, and that helps you when you're snowballing a lot on the early stages of the game, and when you're getting kills throughout the game. It gives you more gold. Okay, I took the physical attack talent points and physical penetration talent points on the Assassin Emblem. But there's an alternative to this. You can also use Marksman Emblem, right? You can use Marksman Emblem and you can get Electro Flash. It's the one that gives you movement speed whenever you auto attack somebody, and it has a 10-second cooldown. But what you can do as well is for the talent points for Marksman Emblem, there's also plus crit and plus crit damage. That's why Marksman Emblem is also good for Granger. There's that crit damage. Take all 3 points on that and plus crit on the first row. Okay, if you want to use the Marksman Emblem. It really depends on you, but I prefer the Assassin Emblem since Granger's burst is actually really insane with the physical penetration. Alright, let's go over this. I want to explain something before the game starts. This is almost going to be like an in-depth tutorial. I want to give you guys tips and tricks as well and get something out of this video. I don't want to be just a bullshit YouTuber that just posts gameplay and doesn't explain anything. But here we go. Let's skip a little bit of this and explain to you guys what's going on. Alright, so first things first. Usually I get jungle item for Granger, but in this gameplay I don't. I should have, but I didn't. Alright. So let me explain to you when to get jungle item and when to not. So you base your buy based on your enemy team composition. You need to decide, okay, do I get a red buff? Well, it's a blue buff, obviously, but you're going to be taking the red right here. So since if you're looking at our team, only Selena needs a buff. So she's obviously going to get the blue buff. And nobody else is going to get the red buff. If nobody else is going to get that red buff, get that jungle item. That first jungle item, don't upgrade it. Alright, keep it at level 1. Alright, since you don't need the extra sustain for the second tier jungle item. Only use the first tier jungle item. Okay, I mean, you can also use the second tier, but that all depends on you. Since you have Bloodlust Axe, you don't need sustain. But yeah, if nobody's going to take this red jungle item, then obviously go for the jungle item. If somebody's gonna take it, like let's say there's a team comp of Fanny, Selena, right? Fanny, Selena, they both need a buff. Don't take the jungle item right there. So that's an exception, okay? So base it off your enemy team. If you have any questions throughout the video, feel free to comment that below, alright? I'll just keep reminding you guys. Let's go over the gameplay. We're here at bot lane with Franco. So what I need to do is just keep my distance. Positioning is key. When you're playing Granger, skill shotting is key as well. Landing your first kill is definitely a must. You need to practice landing your first kill. You need to predict. You need to have the game sense of where the enemy will be at. You need to sidestep to where this guy is going to be at. As you can see, all my bullets hit right there, and he's already less than 50% health, and his Purify is also wasted by Franco right there. I actually see Grok right here, and he deals a decent amount of damage on me, but good thing he didn't commit. But even if he did commit, I would have used sprint anyways. Okay, let's see here. Once you clear that minion wave at bot lane, obviously you're gonna take the jungle minions. And you might be wondering, oh, why didn't you go for the red after this? Why didn't you go for the red after this? If you look at the map, obviously, if you're paying attention, if you're a mythic player, you need to look at the map. You cannot be selfish. Don't be selfish if you're a mythic player. Look at the map. and look at my team, where my teammates are at. And usually I go for the red buff right away. If they're not there, I usually go for the red buff right away, because by the time I kill the red buff, these minions are just about to die. All right, and that is why. All right, that's why I didn't go for the red buff. And you'll know this. You'll see it. I see Grok responding to it, and I was like, all right, Grok is about to sandwich them. I need to help. And look at this. All four of us are right here. It ends up being a 4v4, and it's all fair game, right? It's not a 3v4. They have damage on me. They have, you know, my teammates can use me as damage. And look at that, how much damage I'm doing. I land on my bullets on this Lunox. Look at this, and we managed to get 3 kills off that. Just because of me helping. If I didn't help there, maybe they wouldn't had enough damage. Since Selena only has the first skill right now, and the bite, first skill bite, and the, you know, she also has a stun, but you need to hit your stun in order to deal damage. But for me, I have overtime damage. As soon as we got that 3 kills, this should be a free crab from us. I think Kufra just wanted to secure that crab. That's why that's why he went for it. Cause you know, if you know Granger, you don't build attack speed on Granger. Please. If you don't read Granger's passive, don't build attack speed. Never build attack speed on Granger. That's the problem with Granger, is his attack speed is super low. They managed to stun Grok right there, and I get another free easy first kill on Grok. So that's already 2 kills from me, and 2 assists from the jungle earlier. I want to explain another thing right here. Is bullet management. Alright, what is bullet management? So if you see there's two bullets right here, and you see that red bullet will give you guaranteed crit, alright, on Granger, on your auto attack. You want to take advantage of that as much as possible when you're wave clearing and when you're in team fights. So when you're on your last 2 bullets, try not to use your first skill as much as possible. I'm not saying all the time, alright? I'm not saying all the time. Sometimes you really need to use your first skill to get an instant burst on someone. And if you want to get lifesteal from Bloodlust Axe when you use your first skill, that's the only exception, alright? So you want to take advantage of that last 2 bullets all the time, alright? So you want to take advantage of the crit. By doing so, once you do this last auto attack right there, you use your first skill right away, and you're gonna output a lot more damage. The maximum damage as possible for Granger, maximum amount of damage possible that you can output is when you use this and then use your first skill right away. Biggest burst as well, alright? So that's what bullet management is. Again, if you have a question about bullet management, if you want clarification about that, ask me in the comment section below, and it definitely would not hurt. So why am I pushing here? My teammates, Kufra already rotated mid, and I see Selena actually getting a kill already. Since I saw Kufra already rotating mid, and I see nobody here at, you know, at bot lane. I see like around 3 people here with the enemy team, on the enemy team, that are pushing mid. I want to trade something in case my my friendly team loses this team fight. So if they lose this team fight, it doesn't matter because I get a tower here and we get more map pressure, right? You always want to have something to trade on your mind. Don't be, you know, going elsewhere. You know, some marksmen on lower tiers will be freaking farming right here instead of pushing, and your teammate is freaking fighting right here, and your team ends up dying and they blame you, and you're like, oh, I'm farming. It's not my fault, I'm farming, but you're not getting any objectives. This is that's the difference between epic and lower tiers and mythic, right? That's the difference. It's just knowing when to push and when not to push, when to not overextend, when to help on team fights. You will see at the end of the game how much push I did with, you know, with the kill participation as well. So that means that if you have a lot of kill participation and you have a lot of push, you did really good at balancing everything, right? Balancing everything. You don't want to over push. Sometimes marksmen, they just stay in one lane and push the whole game. It's actually insane. Really low tier players do that. They push the whole game. It's really, I know it might sound mean, but it's really stupid. It's really stupid. Really nice hook from Franco right there. Insane flicker hook, but Lunox had first skill, and I get to I get to just keep my distance. I get free hit. So yeah, make sure you know your limits. Know your limits, when to not push and when to push. There's always the correct time. It'll just, it'll come to you once your game sense comes in. Okay? Once game sense comes in, then obviously you don't have to keep track on it. It'll just go in. It'll just be an instinct. It'll be second nature to you after a while, right? For me, I don't even think about it anymore. I just know what to do. Another tip that I can give you guys is, let's see, auto attack. There you go, range. That's what I was thinking about. Range, keeping your range. It's pretty much, in simpler words, is positioning. All right, let me try to pause the game. That's my first skill. Let's see here. Wait up. Let me try to pause the game at the correct timing and show you guys what I mean. All right, I missed it. I'm using my first skill. I missed it. There it is. That's my auto attack range. So whenever you're pressing this, it'll show you a little circle, right? This circle right here. I will trace it a little bit. It'll look ugly. All right, it'll look ugly, but don't mind it right now. All right, bear with me. I want you guys to get something out of this video. I don't want to be a bullshit YouTuber that just posts his gameplay and doesn't explain anything. All right, this, for every marksman, you need to memorize. For every marksman, it's different. Like, let's say for Moskov, it's a lot shorter. For let's say Clint, it's a little bit longer. For Leslie, it's really, really long. For Granger, it's pretty decent. Like, you know, for Kimmy, it's really, really far. Especially when your first skill is activated. So you need to memorize your range. This is what it's called, your auto attack range. So you'll notice throughout the game right now that I will be at this range. I will not let enemies be next to me. I mean, obviously there's exceptions, alright? If you want to get a kill, you want to be right next to them with your first skill. If you want to have a guaranteed hit on your first skill, sometimes you want to be right next to them point blank. But majority of the time, you will notice in this video and on this gameplay, I will keep them at that distance at all times, almost at all times, alright? 90% of the time, they will not go close to me. They will not go past that circle. You need to memorize that. For me, it just goes by instinct as well. I don't even think about this anymore. This range, you kind of just memorize it. Since I'm a marksman main before, I just know, you know. I just know the range. Okay, so right here I see my teammates actually going for the counter jungle, but they were gonna go for the blue, but Grok came in, kind of just, you know, disrupting a little bit. I don't want to go too close, so keep on track. I know it looks ugly on the video right now, but just keep on track of it. I want to just teach you guys something. I want you guys to get something out of this video, not just you know, something that you've seen from another YouTuber. Yeah, right here. They will not go close to me. Enemies will always be hitting that circle whenever I'm trying to join a team fight. If they're too close, I back away. If they're too, you know, right here, that was an exception right there. I want to hit my first skill. Obviously, I went for the sidestep and went next to Leomard. Right here, as you can see, Claude is doing a decent damage on me. Once he was going for me, I didn't know he had second skill. I couldn't do anything right there. So that was really bad right there. Since, well, not completely bad because I couldn't do anything about it. Obviously, Claude went really aggressive on me and he used his first skill. But overall, like, throughout that team fight, I did pretty good at positioning. Keeping your distance, staying behind your tanks, and not letting the enemy team really close to you. So let's skip a little bit. I went way too far. Give me a second right here. Alright, so we're back at it. I went back to bot lane and started farming. As soon as I used my last bullet, I used my first skill, obviously. Keep in mind that your second skill actually has cooldown every time your first skill bullet hits. So that's another tip right there. But I will keep that red circle in the screen. I just want that. I want it there. Because you guys will notice, you will realize how, you know, how positioning works. A more in-depth positioning guide. I mean, I could obviously do another like separate video on that, but yeah, it's kind of boring if it's just one topic. Alright, I just wanna, this video will probably show you that. And right here, as you can see, I don't want to go close to them. Keeping distance, micro. Micro game is pretty much kiting if you play League of Legends. I've said it on another video before. What kiting is if you're running away and if you're auto-attacking at the same time. Without them trying to, you know, without them having a chance to hit you since you're keeping your distance. That's what micro game is. Like I'm doing to Grok right now. See? I'm keeping my distance and sometimes going near if they're, you know, if they're backing away. That's what micro is, and that's what kiting is. Yeah, you will not see anybody, you know, too close to me at all this whole game. You know what? We'll freaking keep this circle. This whole game. It's called the auto attack circle. This whole game, you will notice that enemy teams will never pass like this circle right here. They will always be touching this circle. when I'm on team fights. You will notice that, alright? I want to emphasize that point. But that was a really good kick from from Chu right there. And we get a free push. I'm trying to do as much damage on the tower as much as possible. I saw Grok getting stunned right there, so obviously that's a free ulti if he's stunned. We'll go over the equipment later, alright? Don't worry about the equipment for now. We'll go over that at the end of the game. Last bullet. I'm trying to save my last bullet. As soon as I saw Claude, I dashed in and I used my first skill. That's also an exception, since obviously my first skill is a lot longer than my auto attack, normal auto attack. And that is why I use my first skill instead of just using that last bullet for the crit. Counter jungling, obviously, and I saw that we could actually do Lord at around right here, since these guys are just defending and they're really scared. So at one moment at this game, I decide to do Lord once we get a kill, I believe, soon. So every time someone gets stunned, you want to use your first skill, obviously, or if they're static, like right there. See what I mean? There was a Selena Abyssal, I forgot what it was called, Abyssal something. I actually get killed right there. I managed to get really close since I wanted to hit my first skill. That was the only exception that I was saying. Keeping your first skill, and because I went too close, obviously, I died. See, if I go too close to people, I die. But I wanted a trade, so I didn't think Lunox would actually get me with that last second skill. Let's skip a little bit of this. Alright, let's see here. Right here. Alright, so we're back. We're 10-2 and 8. I know it doesn't seem like I got a lot of kills throughout this game, but we're 10-2 and 8. It might be surprising, but we are. So I'm really fed, obviously. Getting that last bullet. I actually didn't use my last bullet there. I keep forgetting. I guess I just want to burst down the jungle monsters as much as possible. On team fights, it definitely helps though. Bullet management definitely helps. Sometimes you don't have to do it. Sometimes you do. But your first skill is your main output of damage, so you want to max your first skill at all times. All right. All right. Let's go over this. I think that's the last time I die in this gameplay. So let's see here. Let's see if the enemies go inside that circle at all, except if I'm trying to run away. Keeping my distance. My first skill has a longer range, so you'll see sometimes my first skill will be passing that circle. It'll be like around right here. My first skill, right? This is the distance of my first skill right here. Keep that there. And yeah, this is where I decided to do Lord. Since they were just defending, we couldn't really push anything. Everything was taken. Like, look at all the second tier towers are all taken. So there's like no point. All right, unless we team fight and we catch someone off guard, then that's an exception. But other than that, since they're just defending and they're not doing anything, if they're too scared to get out of their base, force them to come out by doing Lord. And right here, I saw that Claude was really open. I saw an opening right there, and I just used my ulti right away as soon as I did that. See what I mean? I'm keeping my distance. Look at this. I will never go close. Look at, even if I have free hit, I will never go like too close. And if Grok was really close, I run away. See? If someone gets way too close, you try to dash away or run away. And since I was super low, obviously try to sustain with your first skill by getting some spell vamp on that. And I'm already 50% health. I can just go back. I don't have to recall or anything. Find a jungle monster, find a minion wave to actually sustain yourself. And look at, I'm already full health. I'm already full health without recalling. You don't have to back all the time. Right here, keeping my distance again, you know, don't go too close. Look at, whenever I use my ulti, I also dash back. Look at that damage. My last bullet hit that Leomard and he just died right away. It's actually, yeah, Granger freaking hurts if you're fed, and if you really, he can snowball very hard. Again, sustaining. I mean, this hero is pretty self-explanatory, to be honest, guys. The only thing that you really need to practice for Granger is hitting your skill shots. That's about it, and positioning, really, and hitting your skill shots. If you can do both of that, then you'll be a good Granger. Itemization is obviously a thing too, but you know, you don't really practice for itemization. You just learn it. You just do it. And I see that they're having a team fight here at mid lane, and they're not even protecting their bot lane, so I'm gonna go for it. Easy tower, right? I'm not always at the team fights. I'm pushing objectives and joining team fights when it's... Look at that damage. One first skill is all it takes to kill a 100% HP Lunox. This is the potential of Granger. That's how insane this hero is. And look at this. This Leomord actually went for me, and once he was going too far, I was trying to back away, and I hit him with my last bullet as well, with that last auto attack. That's it. Look at my damage. I'm just killing these guys. I actually tried to predict where Grok was gonna be at, but he didn't go towards his base. But that's all right. We're fed. We're winning. We're 15-2-8. It doesn't even matter at this point. See what I mean by trying to keep your distance on that red circle. So hopefully you guys learned something from that. That's your main goal as a marksman, all right? Positioning. All right. So that's it for the circle. Take that off. Pretty annoying circle, I know, but hopefully you guys get something off that. And I wanted to emphasize that really hard on this gameplay, since that's key. That's key to being a good marksman, is positioning. And if you notice, when they got into that circle that I drew, I died, right? Earlier, I died because they got into that circle that I drew. Right here, look at my gold. Holy crap, it's almost like 1,000 gold per minute. 15-minute game, and we almost had 15,000 gold, right? Compared to everybody else, the highest gold was 10,000. I was almost 5,000 gold ahead of Cho. And this guy, you know, everybody else was far off. Look at this. So let's explain the itemization, right? So I already explained to you guys when to get jungle emblem and jungle item, and when to get jungle item and when to not get jungle item at the first few seconds of the video. Let's explain this. So you want to get bloodless axe first. Obviously I did. Okay, erase that. You want to get my cooldown boots first before getting bloodless axe. I was gonna say get bloodless axe first for your first main core item. So why cooldown boots? Attack speed doesn't really affect Granger if you read his passive, right? It doesn't really affect him, so make sure that you don't build attack speed at all for Granger. As you can see, there's no attack speed item on any of my items, right? It's all pure damage. So what it does is it has lower cooldown on your ulti, obviously, and on your first skill, second skill as well, and that's why you want this, and it really helps Granger. Okay, since your main output of damage is your first skill, you want to have that available to you as much as possible. Second item is going to be bloodless axe. So this is really strong. As you can see earlier, I was 1 HP, but with just bloodless axe, I was able to sustain myself by clearing jungle minions and wave minions, and I don't have to recall. And that is why bloodless axe is super good with Granger. It's a must, I believe. It's a must for Granger, definitely. For Berserker's Fury, this gives you, since I told you guys earlier, that last bullet on your ulti and that last bullet on your auto attack and your first skill automatically crits. And what Berserker's Fury does is it has it has plus 25% damage on whenever you crit, and that's what you're going for Berserker's Fury. I think this must be a necessity for Granger as well, just because of that. Alright, you want to take advantage of that as much as possible. And the next build, the third main core item, was Blade of Despair. Alright, whenever they're 50% health or lower, this gives you a lot of physical damage, and it will definitely hurt the enemy team. And the last two items are armor penetration, since once enemies start getting really tanky, you're gonna need this. Alright, so what I recommend is, you can either go for Heptases first or either for Malefic Roar. Since I was pushing a lot, I built Malefic Roar first. What Malefic Roar does is you do more damage on towers. But for Heptases, it's a better 1v1 item in my opinion, alright? Since it does minus 25 armor points on the enemy once you hit them with a skill, which is super good. Especially if you use your first skill, since your first skill is your main point of damage and your ulti, okay? But an alternative for these items are Hunter Strike. You can switch Hunter Strike. I'll just call it HS, or this. Buy one Hunter Strike. You can either, you can switch it up. These three items: Hunter Strike, Malefic Roar, and Heptases. But I usually go for Malefic Roar and Heptases, just because I want to melt the tanks. Even though they're fronting, even if they're way too confident on as tank, you wanna be able to melt these tanks like Grok and Minotaur, like they were doing earlier. They were really tanky, but since I have two armor penetration items, I was able to deal a decent amount of damage on them. Right? It doesn't matter if they're a tank, super tank build. Let's look at the stats. Let's see what we have here. Oh wait, there it is, 53%. Look at that damage, 148,000. I know it didn't seem like I did 148,000. I could tell by my face. I was surprised as well. And this is when you know that you did your job correctly. You're pushing really well with 22,000 on tower damage, I did 81% of the pushing. That means that you're doing a lot of objectives, and plus you're joining team fights at the correct time. All right, with the 53%, that hero damage for your team. I did 148,000 overall on the heroes. And if you count my kill participation, what's 17 plus 8? That's 25. So like 25 out of 30 kills, I was there to participate. So basically, I was pushing and joining team fights at the correct time, and that is why my Granger did so well, and it made us win the game pretty easily against these guys. Yeah, so make sure you take pointers, maybe take some notes of that. I'm not the perfect Granger player, obviously, based on the gameplay as well, even though I did really good. I'm not the perfect player overall. Obviously, I need to learn some stuff as well. So make sure to comment down below if you have any advice, if you have any suggestions as well. I'm not you can critique me. It doesn't matter as long as you are respectful. All right, as long as you're respectful, please critique me down below. Since, like I said, I am not a perfect player, but I try to teach you guys what I know, and this is basically what I can teach you guys compared to the other YouTubers that just give you bullshit gameplay and don't explain shit. All right. Let's see here. I think that's it. That's all we can talk about. Also, let me know below if you prefer this type of videos instead of going over mechanics, tips and tricks, and the in-depth tutorial kind of style of video, or this kind of video. Tell me that below, comment that below, and I will appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed and learned something. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and join the giveaway down below in the description, or even join Discord. Alright, since we just got partnered on Discord, and thank you guys for that. That is it. Peace!